Hello out there, and I want to thank you once again for tuning in. And we hope that you are blessed and encouraged by our short video. I've been thinking this last week, personalities are fascinating. There's no one pure definition of personality, but it's widely agreed upon that it consists of a person's thoughts, upbringing, life experiences, mixed with a little bit of genetic makeup. Simply put, our personalities is what makes us who we are. Watching my two boys grow, it's fun to watch their personalities develop. It's fun to watch how incredibly different their personalities are. And even though similar genetic makeup and even though similar environment, there's just a few things that are different. Firstborn, secondborn, uh, it, they just encounter life incredibly differently. Think of Theo, for instance. If he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing, all it takes is typically a gruff voice and a stern look, and he'll apologize. I'm sorry. However, if I do the same gruff voice and stern look to Cooper, he kind of gets this little twinkle in his eye, and he thinks to himself, okay, how far can I push this envelope before Dad gets up over here and takes whatever I'm doing away? It's almost like, what can I do with this naughty behavior? He likes to just kind of live a little bit more dangerously than his brother, and I find that to be intriguing. But there is one thing that they both desire, and that is attention from mom and dad. They don't always want the same type of attention. Cooper is a cuddler. He loves to come up and just like sit and cuddle with you for a little bit. But Theo's favorite form of attention is play, particularly wrestling. He loves when I get on the floor and mess with him, and he loves that, and he'll ask for it all the time. I think he would do it 24/7 if I would allow him, and if my body would allow him to. That's probably the greater concern. But they all want attention, and they will find a way to get the attention that they want, and they'll go to great lengths in order to secure that from us. Humans, they need to be validated. We want to be recognized. We want to be confirmed in our thoughts, our beliefs, for being unique persons. We want that in and of ourselves. To put it plainly, I want you to say that I matter, and whether you believe it or not, you want me to say that you matter. And that's good. I believe God has woven that into our humanness. We want validation from other people. But there is something that's happening now in our country, maybe in our culture in general. It's been happening for a while. People no longer feel that they matter. They feel like ships without a rudder. They feel disconnected from the main line. They seek validation from other people, and they go to extreme causes to make sure that they get the attention. This is extremely evident with what happened in our country within the last week. Last week was a tragic and a terrible event that occurred at our nation's capital. We look at this and we wonder, how does something get to this point? But I encourage you not to merely treat the symptom, but to treat the cause, to look at the illness itself. See, I think that when people feel like they don't matter, they will act out in ways to prove that they do. It happened a lot this summer. People felt like they were being slighted by the oppressive government. And it happened last week. People felt like their voices were not heard. And both of these are on opposite ends of the political spectrum. But one underlying cause that people feel is that they're just not being heard. They're not being treated fairly. That they don't matter. Now, I can't pass judgment on whether these ideals are real or imagined, but I can say that the people that feel them think that they are very real, regardless of where you stand. And I do know that when someone is hurt usually manifests itself in anger. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of, is angry people who feel that they don't matter. So as Christians, I want us to look at two quotes. And I think if we champion these thoughts, we will make a difference in our lives. The first quote is, hate begets hate, violence begets violence, toughness begets a greater toughness. We must meet the forces of hate with the power of love. None other than Martin Luther King Jr. I think this is a very difficult thing for us to always grasp, because we want to retaliate, but that's not what we're called to do as Christians. As Christians, we are called to love. We're called to give that next level of turning the other cheek. We're called to take the cloak off our back when someone asks for it. Those are the things that we are supposed to be doing. And maybe the greater quote, the transcendent quote. And I feel something that should be more than just put on a sign at a sporting event is this. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. John 3:16. You see, by this we understand that to God, we matter. We are validated, not because of human interest, not because of human ideals, but because God has said so, because he chose to send his Son for us. This is made perfectly evident in this single verse. And it's this love that drives out the hate. Jesus in multiple parables talks about going to the poor, the blind, the lame. Yeah, that's a great way of saying the broken. I see a lot of broken people that need Jesus. Thank you, and God bless.